Justice League. The Time Paradox or Flashpoint Paradox for Friends is a movie that marks the beginning of a connected animated universe. Perhaps we are talking about the best movie in this small animated universe, but what do you think? Welcome to a new video on the NEGAYO channel. The story starts with young Barry Allen and his mother standing on a highway. Barry is a restless child. As no one helps them, Nora Allen calms her son with a phrase he will never forget.
Accept the things you cannot change, have the courage to change the things you can, and have the wisdom to know the difference.
Barry, a cheerful boy, lives a normal life until one day, returning from school, he senses something is amiss at home. There is disaster everywhere, and the worst part is that in front of this little boy was the corpse of his mom. Nora Allen had been murdered on her birthday, and so time passes. And even though life hadn't been fair to Barry, he becomes a good man. He visits his mother's grave on her birthday, blaming himself for her death. He believes that if he had arrived home earlier, if only he had run faster, maybe, just maybe, she would be alive. Barry Allen receives an emergency call, turns into Flash, and rushes to the museum to confront supervillains. Flash encounters Top amidst the chaos at the scene. Mirror Master, Heatwave, Captain Cold, and Captain Boomerang. Flash confronts them and seems to have the upper hand. However, he ends up being captured by this group of enemies who call themselves Rogues. Cornered, the Scarlet Speedster starts gathering information from the group. And that's how one of Flash's worst enemies, Reverse Flash, introduces himself. This guy is so evil that he not only plans to kill Flash, but he's also going to destroy the entire museum. And not only that, he also intends to blow up part of Central City with the explosion. He also used the Rogues group and betrayed them by planting the bombs without them knowing. Flash offers to surrender in exchange for Reverse not taking innocent lives, but the villain refuses because he wants to make him suffer. Barry traps Reverse, forcing him to defuse the bombs as his options run out. However, this man chooses to die along with Barry Allen to make him suffer.
Very well, if that's how I shatter your golden throne, then my life is a small price.
For the salvation of all. At that moment, Batman enters, destroying the only complete window left in the Superman Museum. Atom, Green Lantern, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, and Yoko Man are also gathered. Each of them manages to deactivate these futuristic bombs. Unfortunately, they have to leave Flash and Reverse trapped. With one of them, the Justice League triumphs. Even Flash manages to destroy the last one of them. Good triumphs again, and our childhood heroes win and the bad guys are arrested. However, Reverse Flash is so evil, and with a small dialogue, he deeply hits Barry, reminding him of the death of the person he loved most in the world.
But no matter how fast you run, you can't save everyone, not the ones you care about.
Flash runs away from the place, and thus begins the Justice League, the Time Paradox.
Justice League, the Time Paradox.
Barry Allen wakes up at his job, but something is not right. He begins to notice some strange news and comments about which he has no knowledge. The murder of the elongated man was like a world war.
Did they murder the elongated man? Elongated boy?
A news story that Cold Citizen is a hero and fights against Boomerang. But the weirdest thing is that Barry doesn't have the sound of Flash. He runs out of his job and stumbles. Then he recognizes among the people Nora Allen, his deceased mother. We do know what's going on, but Barry hasn't seen the movie title yet. This doesn't diminish the emotion of this beautiful hug. Let's leave these two here and head over to Gotham City, where we see a violent fight between the Dark Knight and Jojo, who in this new reality would be like Harley Quinn. This Batman is different from the one we know and uses firearms, even carries tequilas on his belt, and doesn't mind hitting women because he's very oppressive. Batman throws a girl into the void for refusing to give information about Joker. Luckily, Cyborg was around and saves this girl's life. Is there a reason why Victor is here? As war looms, he has begun assembling a team of exceptional individuals. A resistance to fight against the perpetrators of the next global catastrophe. But to ensure even a minimal chance of victory, he needs the best strategist on the team. They need Batman. Cyborg reveals the details of the plan. Do we need to eliminate Wonder Woman and Aquaman before their personal war destroys the world? This Batman, however, rejects the invitation as he doesn't care about anything.
The war has ended, but you, soldier, are not yet aware.
Returning to Central City with Barry trying to understand what the hell is going on and why everything is different after he woke up. In that, he spots his girlfriend, Iris West, but she seems different. Iris is married to someone else and has a daughter. Barry becomes even more confused and turns to the only person who might be able to help him understand what's going on. With the only person who can beat Superman, Wonder Woman, and even Dr. Manhattan in all alternate realities. The Wayne Mansion appears abandoned, but we enter a dreadful basement containing some of Batman's items. Without wasting time, this dark masked figure beats up Barry while questioning his identity. Between dialogue, it's surprising to learn this person isn't Bruce Wayne. Bruno died,
I saw him die.
but we are actually seeing Thomas Wayne himself. Anyway, on the other side of the world, a fearless Steve Trevor is pursued by the Amazons and is finally captured. Wonder Woman obtains information from an infiltrator and kills him once he is no longer useful to her. Lois Lane becomes the target of superpowered model women. Batman keeps interrogating Barry.
You mention my dead son again and I'll bring out my surgical tools.
During the fight, Flash's supposedly lost ring falls to the ground. To prove his honesty, Barry activates it, revealing the Reverse Flash's suit instead of his own, explaining everything. When Thomas reflects on the fact that his son is alive in another reality, he agrees to help our hero regain his powers.
My son is Bruno.
He's alive, he is Batman, and while they try, we go to the other side of the world. In the middle of the sea, Slade Wilson and Lex Luthor attempt to find Aquaman, because he wields a weapon capable of destroying entire continents. The Atlantean King's army is attacking and eliminating the hero's navigation system from reality. The entire crew is killed, but before dying, Lex sends a signal revealing the location of the world-ending device. So we could say that these men died practically as heroes.
At least I know I was right.
Returning to Gotham, Barry tried to regain his powers, recreating the lab accident that gave him his powers in the first place. But things don't go well and he almost dies. Because Cyborg couldn't recruit Batman for the team, he is fired by Barack Obama. Hope is slowly fading and their resistance is weak against the Atlantean and Amazonian power. When Barry is unconscious, new memories come to his mind as if he had lived in this reality forever. Thanks to this, we know that Superman never landed in Smallville. He wasn't adopted by Martha and Jonathan Kent. Instead, the government found him after he destroyed Metropolis. We also know how the war began. In the past, the kings of both nations had a peace agreement. But Diana and Arthur had an affair, which is why Mira confronts Wonder Woman. To make her memory even more miserable, Mira is beheaded and now her helmet is worn by Diana as if it were a trophy. The death of Queen Mira results in a declaration of war that is currently threatening to destroy almost the entire world. The story of Thomas Wayne is also shown. That night in Crime Alley, Joe Child murdered young Bruce Wayne. As a result, Thomas beat the thief to death, while Martha Wayne lost her sanity clutching her son's corpse. This woman would later become the Joker, but of course we won't see her again in this movie. Barry is losing his old memories, so it's better to hurry up. His second attempt to recreate the accident succeeds. Barry Allen, the fastest man alive, is back. I told you he was fast. Lois Lane is attempting to flee from the Amazons on the opposite side of the globe. At the last moment, she is rescued by the local resistance. She believes her team defeated the Amazons, but in reality, it was a mysterious mustard-colored ray. However, none of her teammates possess such an ability. So, who could this mysterious savior have been? I don't know what you think just happened, but there's no speedster on this team. Let's leave while we still can. Once Barry is fully recovered, there's no time to waste. However, for some reason, this one doesn't have enough power to break the time barrier, so he starts crying. And while he recovers, we can also meet Hal Jordan from this universe, an expert super pilot who has been assigned a mission with no return. As Hal is a very brave man, he accepts without hesitation. With Barry's tears dried, our story returns to Gotham. Flash suspects that another speedster is trying to hoard as much speed force as possible, leaving Barry with no chance of being fast enough to return to his world. He obviously thinks it's the reverse, but we'll find out later, as Flash doesn't have enough power to fix the timeline. He comes up with the idea that Superman might be the key, as he is fast enough to break the sound barrier without needing to access the Speed Force. So, it's time to look for Kal-El with the help of Cyborg. You look different. Have we met before? This Suicide Squad infiltrates the government's secret facilities in search of Superman. After temporarily outsmarting security, we finally reach the prison where they're holding the Man of Tomorrow. But obviously it's not the Superman we know. Turns out that since this Kryptonian ship landed on Earth, it was the United States government who kept custody of our hero. He has never come to the surface and has not absorbed the sun's radiation. Moreover, they trap him under an artificial red sun's light, hindering the proper development of his super abilities. As a result, the Man of Steel proves to be ineffective for the team. Even so, they rescue this poor friend. Perhaps when he observes the power of the sun, he finally becomes the Superman we know, but things get tough. Outside the facilities, there is an armed government command demanding the return of Superman. They open fire and our heroes defend themselves as... Amid the chaos, Kal-El discovers his powers. While defending his friends, he unintentionally kills many others. Confused, he then rises into the sky and disappears from sight. Flash's memories keep changing and he will soon forget his original universe if he doesn't fix things quickly. Hal Jordan is set to destroy the device in Acapulco's sea, concluding Aquaman's trial for the day.
One last thing, Jordan, on behalf of all humanity. Oh, just shut up me.
You're ruining the moment? Unfortunately, he is intercepted by a sea monster and dies. The Amazons and the Atlanteans have begun their battle in New Themyscira, and the Resistance is on its way to stop the end of the world.
Is the Batplane big enough for us?
The what? On the way, and thanks to a transmission from Lois Lane, Flash finds out that the Reverse is in the war zone. The final battle leaves many deaths among Atlanteans and Amazons. The Resistance also joins the battle, and the only thing left is to fight to survive. Aquaman strikes Wonder Woman with heavy hits, but the heroes intervene, halting the battle. Chances are slim, but hope remains. Reverse Flash finally appears, and after a fight against his greatest rival, the Scarlet Speedster is immobilized. One by one, all fall. Good and bad. Everything is destruction. Everything is tragedy. The world's end appears inevitable. To make this even more devastating, this villain reveals to us that it was not him who changed the past, but it was Flash himself who did it. Barry Allen turns out to be the creator of this chaotic reality.
I saved her. I saved Mom.
At the beginning of the movie, Flash went back to that day when his mother was murdered and managed to prevent it. But this small change altered history as it was known, and now everything is about to end. Flash falls, Cyborg is defeated, Batman is mortally wounded, and Shazam in his form of Billy Batson is killed. Superman arrives on the battlefield and neutralizes Aquaman, but not in time to save his first friend in the world. The Atlanteans are finally defeated and Wonder Woman is about to kill Aquaman, but before dying, he activates the end of the world device. Finally, Aquaman is killed by Diana. Unfortunately, the bomb will take everyone with him. Ah, yes, the energy source is Captain Atom, who they had long thought was dead. In the end, Flash is doomed as he can't escape while the Reverse continues to hoard so much Speed Force. Luckily, we have a session on the team.
The last one, that there simply isn't enough Speed Force.
And with this shot to the head, Reverse has died and Flash regains the chance to fix things. Our hero escapes the shockwave and finally goes back in time to stop himself, to prevent his past self from saving his mom from being murdered. Things seem to have returned to normal. In the end, Barry tells Bruce what happened and gives him a letter written by his father. It was a very emotional moment, honestly.
You're an incredible messenger, thank you.
With the problem solved, it seems, Barry has created a new universe, quite similar to the one he left. This marks the birth of the Detective Comics animated movie universe, which I will summarize. You can subscribe and turn on notifications. Due to this Flashpoint, a very powerful force has set its attention on Earth. It's Darkseid the Conqueror. Alright, we'll end it here. Hope you enjoyed the video. And I remind you that if you also like this type of content, it wouldn't hurt to subscribe and turn on notifications. Follow me on Instagram or Facebook, links in the video description. Comment what other videos you'd like to see on the channel. Summary facts, curiosity stops. All suggestions are welcome. In the meantime, I have nothing else to say but total thanks for having stopped by here. I am Alex for the NEGAYO channel. Thank you.